map draft, we can get started though. See what we got ahead of ourselves. If anyone picks Maya in the playoffs, you're donating to the prize pool. Okay. We might see it today. You never know. Trying to think. I don't remember who has picked Maya already. A few people have. It was somebody in the lower... It was in Division 10 or 11 that someone won with the Maya recently, right? Well, recently, like towards the end of the season. Oh no, they lost with the Maya. Never mind. They lost with the Maya. Rez lost to Maya? Okay. Don't know. I must have seen that one, right? I'm pretty sure I saw all of her games. But I can't remember the circumstances of that. Alright, nobody likes water. Literally every map with any water on it. I guess Akare. Akare actually has turned into one of the bigger water maps in the tournament, somehow. I think we see docking be relevant more on Akare than certainly Fez. Arguably Immersion sometimes. Yeah, they don't like the fun maps. What can I say? This is the downside of the lower divisions. I love the lower divisions and casting them, but quite often they don't like the different builds necessary with hyper random or shoals or what have you. But okay. So we have Aftermath and Runestones and Serengeti, all three kind of the regular maps, I would say. But Sunburn is good. Akare is different, at the very least. So we're going to need one good Civ for Akare at least. A couple good fast Civs for Sunburn, and then kind of just your average good DM Civs. So let's see what Civs they will have available to them. Oh, well, already, immediately, the dream is dead. First admin ban. Absolutely kills the dream today. Oh, well. Not the most impactful admin bans. Celts and Magyars are big. Malians and Koreans are quite solid. I guess Koreans are meta on Akare. Top tier on Akare, but Khitan's not going to see play. Chinese probably not going to see play on these maps. And, well, I won't say anything about Maya, but fans in shambles. Indeed. I would like to see the Maya take another game. They got kind of dumpstered by the Italians, unfortunately. I think that's the only game I can remember seeing the Maya this season, even though I must have seen Maya versus Breslin. I can't remember it, though. Hindustani's first ban. Okay, interesting. They get dumpstered in DM in general? Well, yeah. Well, yes, you're right. You're not wrong, unfortunately. You are not wrong. I'm curious to see how these new Meso Civs end up shaking out in DM. Because Meso Civs aren't particularly good in DM so far, but they get a few extra things. The one is like a Cav Civ, even though they're Meso and stuff like that. I haven't really looked at their tech trees yet to know if they get like SO or Treadmill Crane or whatnot, but yeah, some people have tried the Incas on Sunburn, right? I know they lost once on Sunburn. I want to say I've seen them win once on Sunburn as well, but I can't quite remember how well they have done overall. That was good at least. I like the variance that the Meso Civs inject into things, so it'd be nice if we could see some of them jump into DM. Maya might be good for Shoal's next patch, though. True. Oh, true, actually. All the Meso Civs get Cannon Galleon now, right? So that might actually help some of them be playable in water maps. True, I keep forgetting that the water stuff is happening as well. Welcome in, Griffin, by the way. Curious to see how the water changes all shake out. That's going to be a big if they just poured over the Thalassocracy Cup stuff. That's going to hugely change DM, right? So, well, we'll see. Cumans and Bengalis for Falafel, and Persians and Burmese for UnknownPlayer. Pretty good bands. I'd say Falafel's bands are a little strange. The Hindustanis and Lithuanians, not particularly DM-centered civilizations, but Berber band is good. Dravidian's sad. Goth band here for UnknownPlayer as well. So lots of elephants so far. I see 4 elephant civs and the Cumans. I always say elephants are super, super strong in the lower divisions, right? They're strong everywhere, but they're especially strong in the lower divisions. So apparently the players agree with me. There's some changes, but it's mostly Thalassocracy Cup. Alright, I'll have to actually spend some time reading through that then. I had a feeling they weren't going to change very much, right? They implemented so many things that they're not just going to abandon all that work, but we'll see. I wasn't super a fan of it in Thalassocracy Cup, I don't know, the demo nerf, but it's been so long now, that was so many months ago, that I don't even quite remember all the things I didn't like about it anymore, so I don't know, we'll see. Here I had a vid going over the feedback changes. I'll probably get around to watching that. Demo nerf was lessened. Okay, alright. Fair enough. I make no judgments about big patches or changes or DLC until they land, because quite often people freak out about them and then it's fine. Aztecs have been drafted, by the way, so no Maya Dream, but maybe UnknownPlayer can sneak an Aztec masterpiece in here. It's going to be tough with the rest of these civs, I think. Really strong draft on both sides. This is what you hope for with the lower divisions because they have fewer admin bans. So theoretically, their drafts should be quite good overall. I think you're banning Bengalis or Cumans here, and then, yeah, Persians makes a lot of sense, I think. Persians probably would just win on Akare if they weren't sniped out here. And Bengalis, really good for Akare as well, so that makes a whole lot of sense. Aztec Eagle Rush on Sunburn. Alright, I wouldn't be opposed. I would not be opposed. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. Interesting drafts. I think I prefer UnknownPlayers a tiny bit, but not by a lot. Cumans are great. Japanese and Teutons are fine. Sicilians can be good. Slavs are great. Bit of a high Byzantine pick, but that's okay. I don't love... Where are we going Spanish on this map pool? I guess they're fast-ish? So they could be a Sunburn pick, maybe. Maybe you go Akare, get Conks out. I could see that being the play. But Saracens are so good. 3 Elephant Civs. I think that feels pretty good for UnknownPlayer. We're going to start out on Serengeti. Could be a Japanese pick here. Teutons or Slavs wouldn't be the worst. And then UnknownPlayer can pretty much do anything. It's probably not Aztecs or Spanish, but I could see any other civ here being alright. I'm always a little unsure, because Serengeti tends to be further apart, right? So I'm never quite sure how good I think elephants are on that map compared to any other. Japanese, Vietnamese? That would be an interesting matchup. I think I'm going to say Japanese. Maybe it is Vietnamese. I'm going to say Japanese Khmer. I think this could be an interesting sneak for the Khmer. But it's probably not going to be either of those things. Griffin is on my wavelength, okay. I don't know where Byzantines are going to fit in for Falafel either, right? They see some play, but they're usually just kind of a second tier civ on water maps. But maybe they can do, if they land against the Aztecs or something, Byzantines feel great. Not sure about their other matchups. Is on Acre. Theoretically, I don't mind it, but well, maybe. Alright, let me get my capture age where it needs to be. And these are best ofs, I do believe now. Want to see blood? All right, let's get some blood. Well, welcome in. Game 1. Ooh, I probably should change this though. Just so that we're the same across all of our different banners here. Welcome in, Game 1, UnknownPlayer versus PsychedelicFalafel. We're starting out here on Serengeti. It's the Saracens here for UnknownPlayer, so very strong civ. Up against the Byzantines for PsychedelicFalafel, which is... I mean, they're okay. They still have, like, a lot of units they can make, right? They're a little bit... I feel like the struggle with the Byzantines in DM is just that they really don't have the best of any particular unit. They have cheap units, but that often doesn't matter as much for DM. You kind of want the power unit, and they really only have the cataphracts as far as power units, and I suppose arbalests, if you count them, are fully upgraded. But again, not really great DM civ. So, UnknownPlayer is opening up Camel Pikemen, and is going to not quite find PsychedelicFalafel with the opening military. They are very close together for Serengeti. I said on this map, usually players are further apart, but very close generation. Saracen camels are much better than Byzantine camels. They're just not quite as inexpensive. So straight up, the fight should be really good for UnknownPlayer. Is housed here at 35. Is kind of heavily housed, actually, which is unfortunate. As the first camels are coming in for Falafel. He does know where UnknownPlayer is, at the very least. Ooh, an unknown player really does not know where Falafel is, sending all the military down here. You gotta be able to pick out these main stones and golds on the map to key you in. Very unfortunate, no early damage on that side, but not really much damage for Falafel either, as the camels are going to take a, well, I suppose numbers heavily in their favor, so maybe it's not the worst fight in the world, but not finding any villager kills yet, and the reinforcing camels, excuse me. Oh boy, I'm misclicking all over the place. Should be able to clear this up. On the other side, Unknown Player does finally find Falafel's base, but not in time to do any eco damage. So, big ol' camel war. Big ol' camel war. Should, I think, be better for the Saracens, even with the cheapness of the Byzantine camels. They don't get bloodlines, they don't get the last attack. Obviously, Saracens have the extra HP on top of bloodlines. And what do the Byzantines do against Mamelukes is maybe the question we need to start asking ourselves here in the mid-game. Siege Rams for Falafel I don't think are going to find too much value here. Big fight. The KD is going to be very much in Unknown Player's favor here. Cav Archer's coming out now. I suppose that's okay. The fight is even. It's won by Falafel briefly, but more camels are coming in. Castle does complete for Falafel on the hill. And the Halbs will do pretty good work here for Falafel as well. Good reactions on the villagers underneath the TCs. I like the base spread for Falafel. He's spreading out over the map a bit better. Has more production buildings as well. So I do like that. Singular Bombard Cannon out for Unknown Player, but Byzantine Castle on the hill. It's not going to go down very quickly to that. We probably need straight up trebuchets. But that does cut into our Mameluke production a bit. More castles would be great for Unknown Player. May as well. Castle up here, right? Basically anywhere you see a hill with the Saracens, I think it's worthwhile to put a castle just for Mameluke production. Psychedelic Falafel now the one who is housed. Trying to get the eco sorted. Farms being placed down. We are out of food, but Unknown Player is out of gold. I don't think we've hit the market yet, right? So Saracens not taking advantage of their better market rates, but the market is here. I think it's probably worth selling most of the wood and probably some food too, but we'll see. It's not a very wood-intensive comp right now for Unknown Player. First Trebuchet comes out. Yeah, the fights are just going really well for Unknown Player, right? Lower divs are allergic to hills on Serengeti. True, it's because of all this cracked earth terrain, right? It feels bad to put them up there. Castle might go down here for Falafel. No repair villagers. And so the castle will fall. But I like the Halb spam. I think that's a good choice for Falafel. It kind of counters everything that Unknown Player is making right now. If they get in close to the Mamelukes, they do a lot of damage to them. And this is a good pushback. We've got Hussar, Byzantine Hussar, not the best unit against the Saracens, but there's no camels left, right? Unknown Player out of gold, can't really make the units he needs to make right now. If only there was siege to back this up. Where are the rams? We've got 25 siege rams in the back of the base still in the siege workshops. It would be so nice if they were underneath this castle right now. Still not a bad fight for Falafel, but this push isn't... Well, I say this push isn't going to do too much damage. Those are some nice Vil snipes underneath the TC. Denying gold as well, which is important for Unknown Player's eco right now. There is the market use for Unknown Player. Look at that. Such good rates. Feels so good. I think I would have sold some wood as well, but it's okay. Falafel buys stone. in order to get a castle up here. Still not on the hill. I guess it's on a hill, kind of. But not quite where it could have been. Okay, I like the castle positions for UnknownPlayer. They're up a little bit slower than ideally, but I like the positioning. It's good. This is a beautiful castle. It covers the gold. It's on the hill. It's not even on cracked earth terrain, I don't believe. But let's see, 90 villagers for UnknownPlayers, pretty good. It's only 61 for Falafel, who has been housed at 165 for a long time. Oh, here come the Rams. Okay, they've been expelled from the siege workshops. They're on their way in. The Hussar not finding too much value here. But let's see. Here they come. Is there enough behind them anymore? Cav Archers and Halberdier are in the mix. Rams soaking damage, I suppose. Cav Archers are going to try and dive on the castle foundation to deny it, but they don't quite get there in time. I think this is a disaster for Falafel. 25 Rams and not a single one has done anything yet. But I guess the military is waning for UnknownPlayer. The pathing has not been good for these Rams either, it's got to be said. We have a siege onager on the field. Okay, some of the Rams found their way to the forward castle. That's good, at least. And I think they will kill that castle. One Ram has snuck around the backside of this castle in the back. And yeah, UnknownPlayer can't really make military because there's no food. He sold it all. Saracens, basically every military unit they make costs food, right? Except for, like, siege. Which, to be honest, some more SO would not be a bad idea. Is it just one? Only one siege workshop has anything queued inside it. Yeah, I think this was enough. Okay. It was a little sketchy there when the Rams were trailing in, but I think this is enough. Second castle goes down. UnknownPlayer is going to be pushed off of all of his gold. I don't think there's any more gold hiding back here. Villagers are dying. Production buildings are going to get ripped down by the siege Rams. The last castle might even go down. Villagers having to box their way out of this if they can. But the Cav Archers are behind, killing Vills. There is no military on the field for UnknownPlayer. There is one SO. Saracen SO is very strong, but I don't think one's going to cut it. And now Falafel's able to make some Paladins, still Cav Archers. Last castle goes down, and I think Falafel has taken game one here. Really well played, honestly. The balance behind was really good for Falafel. A little bit slow getting the Rams forward. That's mainly the only big critique I have here. Yeah, UnknownPlayer probably needed more siege earlier, right? Maybe wasn't expecting the Cav Archers and Ram play. I never expected the Ram play, to be completely honest. But it comes really good here. Monastery is going to get taken down. Castle goes down. We've got Paladin nuking out town centers. UnknownPlayer just trying to get the fingers warmed up for the rest of the set, I suppose. I'm not sure why else we would still be in this. But it's not gonna work out this time. UnknownPlayer might be defeated here quite soon. Okay, GG is called. Falafel takes out the Saracens with the Byzantines. Not what I would have expected purely from the Civ difference, but well played. No Bloodline CA versus a Camel SO Civ. Yep. You don't expect it, right? But if you get Bracer and Thumbring, what else do you need for Cav Archers, right? Okay. Up just needed to produce more. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you are correct. Yeah, like 60 was kind of the cap out for UnknownPlayer. 66, it looks like. There was only one brief moment here where UnknownPlayer had more military population, which, to be fair, like the Byzantines' MO is spamming units, right? But just needed more production. You had the better units. I think hitting the market earlier would have been helpful as well. Oh well. Saracens technically do lose to a higher drafted civilization here. For whatever that's worth. Falafel gets the first point. And Falafel was blue, correct? It's a common thread in the lower division games. Production wins. Yeah, that's true of across like every game mode, right? Whenever people ask me what they can do to hit certain ELO milestones, 1K or 12K or 1.2K or like whatever, the answer is almost always just produce more. Doesn't matter what the Civ matchup is, doesn't matter what the situation is, just produce more than your opponent and you're probably going to win. Yeah, that's a strong Civ to take out there in the Saracens for sure. They're a great Accaray Civ. I mean, they're a great everything Civ, realistically. They're one of those Civs that's just good everywhere. So, sniping that out with arguably your weakest Civ in the Byzantines. Gotta give Falafel some confidence. Let's see where we are going. Oh, I don't know where we're going for game 2. Do I? Oh, yes, I do. Accaray. Okay, these players have such long names that their names take up almost the entirety of the rec name. So then it has to slowly scroll over to the game 2 at the end. But alright, it's going to be Accaray. And, well, we've lost a lot of good Accaray Civs, right? No Persians or Saracens for UnknownPlayer, tryhard, whatever. No Bengalis or Byzantines for Falafel. So maybe... Don't mind Slavs here. Teutons I've seen played pretty effectively on Accaray a couple times. And then for tryhard... Khmer maybe are viable. Vietnamese have had some success on Accaray. Elephants are kind of strong, even if you aren't thinking about unique units. I think elephants are very strong on Accaray. You're quite close together, right? Khmer, yeah, I think I gotta go Khmer. Although I wouldn't mind Vietnamese versus. I'm going to say Teutons. And it looks like Otter also agrees. At least that's what he wants to see. The annoying thing is that the lower divs tend to be so good at setting up eco behind it, picking fights, but the numbers just aren't there. I'm not sure if I agree with that or not. I think lower divisions tend to add in eco too early, if anything. So they tend to have a good economy behind, but it's probably at the expense of that military production, right? So I do kind of agree with that. Their ecos are usually pretty good behind just because I think they prioritize it more than a lot of players do at the higher end. Don't know if I would say they pick fights very well. I think quite often lower divisions are scared to take fights, which is understandable, but I think more often I'm annoyed, not annoyed, but like exasperated at lower division players not taking fights than I am at them taking bad fights. I don't know. What does lower division start at? I mean, 10 and 11 are definitely lower division. I think I would call 9 as well. And then like 8 through 5 is like mid divisions, maybe 4. And then the top 3 are high division. But what do I know? Azilo, Aztecs? We might see him here, who knows? Jaguar Warriors are kind of hench these days. Maybe we get a big Aztec game here on Akure. Falafel doesn't have any elephant civs, right? Left, so maybe the Aztecs could be viable. Unknown does not like being rushed with those bans. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't ban the Kumans, to be honest. When I saw like Huns, usually the Civ players ban out if they don't like being rushed. It's like Huns, Kumans, Goths, something else. Depends on the maps. In practice, Division 8 can get some games over Division 5 or 6. Yeah, there's definitely... Players can win across divisions a lot in TDM, it seems like, which is nice to see. I like that. Alright, let's jump into Akure. Let's find out what we got. Oh boy, okay. Well, I was half right at least. Welcome in. Game 2. PsychedelicFalafel versus UnknownPlayer. We are here on Akure for the second game. It is the Sicilians for Falafel up against the Khmer for UnknownPlayer. So I guessed Khmer. I think they're a very strong civ here. You can start producing the Ballista Elephants immediately if you want, but honestly just the Battle Elephants probably can win you most games. Sicilians is interesting, right? They're the only civ in the game that you don't need a castle to actually produce their unique unit. So a little bit counterintuitive for me in that regard, but they do have really good siege, which counters what was probably always going to be an elephant play from UnknownPlayer, whether it was Khmer or Vietnamese or even Burmese. So maybe if we can just get a big massive Halb, Esso, Halb Scorpion, stuff like that, maybe this is okay. But we're going to have to get there pretty quickly. I'd like to see Siege Workshops coming down real fast. The 7 stable opening feels a little bit too much. And there we go. Delete some of them. Going to go Barracks instead. I think that's fine. But I'd really like to see some Siege Workshops here. I think if there's no Siege Workshops, it doesn't matter how good your Sergeants or your Halbs are against the Battle Elephants. I think you're just going to be dead, right? Let's see. Here they come. Battle Elephants and Ballista Elephants are coming in on the Sicilians. There is not a single Siege Workshop on the field, so it is full infantry trying to guard against the Flappy Boys. Builds are going down. I think Falafel's just dead here, to be honest. Donjons are better than I think they're going to be against Elephants, but they're still pretty bad. They really just don't do that much. If you get enough of them out, I guess, they slowly whittle away the elephant numbers, but I feel like this is not going to work out. No gold left, but still 50 Battle Elephants, 26 Ballista Elephants in the queue for UnknownPlayer. I think that should be enough to get us through here. House is coming up. That's what I like to see. And yeah, I think the TCs, right? Too early. If these were Siege Workshops instead, as the Siege Workshops now come down, but it might be too late. 8 villager kills for UnknownPlayer. Only 10 villagers on the field for Falafel. Still, the elephants are kind of getting mired down by the donjons a bit here. There's no siege behind this, right? There's onagers coming out, but I'd like to see a couple trebs. There's no bombard cannons. Yeah, I think I'd like to see trebs here. Maybe even Rams would not be the worst thing in the world for UnknownPlayer. Probably doesn't matter. First Crusade coming in for Falafel. Okay, that's one reason to make the TCs a little bit earlier for the Sicilians, I suppose. Not sure if 20-odd sergeants are going to matter here. And yeah, Falafel just calls the GG. Elephants are too strong. Saracens don't really have what they need against the elephants if they don't make siege. It's like Shikso. True. Falafel doing the Shikso build order here of making stables and then not making anything out of them, right? Oh well. Sicilians counter Khmer nicely, but wrong opening, yeah. I think, like, if these stables were barracks, and then we immediately started making siege workshops instead of these barracks, and, like, well, I guess you don't even need the barracks, though, right? Because you have the donjons. So actually just, like, make a donjon or two, go straight into the siege workshops, while your sergeants make more donjons. I think that's probably your best bet. But why elephants are strong. Players don't know how to deal with them. Players maybe not confident in their siege micro. Stuff like that can play a role as well. But we indeed have a game on our hands here as the last pick Khmer take out, well, the last pick Sicilians. Unknown players on the board. And Acre is a win. Stables aren't needed here. Yeah, probably not. Sicilians don't have the best stable anyway. I think on a lot of maps it makes sense to make like maybe 2 stables to get the opening rush in, but I think on Acre against an elephant civ, you're probably not going to find any value from the stables. But that's a good point, Otter. If you make them, you should probably use them. We just need more stuff on the field, right? Production is important. So if you're going to make stables, you know, like a Sicilian Cavalier can still soak up pretty good damage from the elephants, right? So every little bit helps. Maybe he didn't know Khmer go elephants. I suppose it's possible. You don't see Khmer go battle elephants in RM. So it's tough to make that change in your mind, or at least it was for me when I was first getting started in DM, but I feel like that's what they always do in DM, right? So, learning experience maybe. All right, let's see. Where are we going next? Game 3. That's 4. Game 3 is going to be Sunburn. I mean, Cumans makes a lot of sense here. Is there anything here that can stop the Cumans on Sunburn for UnknownPlayer? Maybe Burmese and just get enough elephants out? Guess you could say the same for the Vietnamese. Just go elephants. Spanish is maybe viable usually. They have the faster build speed, right? So they're faster than most civs, but not the Cumans. I'm going to say Burmese Cumans here, but I could see it being almost anything else for UnknownPlayer. I honestly don't think anything has a very good chance against the Cumans on Sunburn. I think they're just too fast. Players in this division tend to not clump fully, which is kind of what you have to do, I think. But let's find out. Spanish versus Slavs or Teutons, so you don't even think the Cumans, huh? I mean, the Cumans are great for these other 2 maps too. So maybe you try to save them. Might be overkill on Sunburn, if that is something that can exist. Let's find out. Might be another quick game here. Sunburn tends to be. And alright, finally, my first totally accurate prediction here. Welcome in Game 3, PsychedelicFalafel versus UnknownPlayer, Battle for Division 10 next season in Tarnished Deathmatch. And it is indeed the Cumans for Falafel up against the Burmese for UnknownPlayer. So let's see. It's going to be Step Lancers for the Cumans. And yeah, I think if you don't clump, you just die, right? We need to be fully walled in here. I've seen even like an extended clump kind of on this map where you quickly get walls down to the wood lines. I don't know if you can fast enough against the Cumans even. Let's see though, it's going to be Elephants, it's going to be Halb. This is the correct unit choice for UnknownPlayer. Maybe I should be looking over here because housing space is kind of the most important thing here. This is way too many stables, I think. Generally speaking, it's probably still going to work here, but largely my suggestion here is fewer stables with the Cumans. They produce so fast. Usually it's housing space that is the limiting factor in these rushes. 3 villagers die over here on this stable. 4 villagers have died overall, though, for UnknownPlayer. You do expect this. You're always going to lose villagers to the Cuman rush. Only 1 barracks. Maybe not as much as I would like. Another villager sniped on the TC. It's tough to keep so many things in your head at once, right? You're trying to micro the slower units against the faster ones, while also keeping your buildings going up. Only 10 villagers for Falafel, though. These are not good fights to take with the Step Lancers. Ignoring the elephants is probably your best modus operandi for Sunburn in this situation. We are killing them. I guess if you have enough Step Lancers, they can kind of just get it done, but it's full Step Lancer. This is always the question, right? When do you switch off Step Lancers? Do you switch off Step Lancers as the Cumans ever? And maybe there's just enough here. 66 on the field now, 75 on the field now, 75 in the queue. 18 to 75 military. Castles are not going up. 9 villagers have now died for UnknownPlayer. And I think he's been overrun. I think the Burmese have been fully overrun now. 12 villagers dead, only 5 alive. Castle is fully denied. TC is basically denied in the middle for UnknownPlayer. Still lots of military in the queue, I suppose, and it is the better military. I don't mind staying in this game, right? If you still have anything alive, I think it's worth staying in this game, because as the Cuman player, if you're committing this hard to the Step Lancers, there is a world where you're just dead once the Step Lancers run out, and we are getting there. Still 100 Step Lancers on the field, nothing more in queue. Ooh, I don't know about this one, though. Villager is trying to extend for a forward town center. Maybe not the best idea. Most of them go down. 18 villager kills for Falafel. But you know what? The elephants are kind of getting it done. We're down to 80 Step Lancers. That's it. There's no more gold, no more food. If these Step Lancers die, Falafel's not going to have anything else behind it. He does have TC's down, so the eco is expanding, at least for Falafel. 22 Vil kills now. 1 Vil kill. Revenge, nice. 40 Step Lancers is all that's left. UnknownPlayer hits the market. This should be pretty good Civ matchup if this game actually can go into a mid-game for the Burmese. I don't think Cumans have a great answer to elephants until they get into SO, which I don't know if we're going to see that. And look at this. Suddenly, 14 military is all that is on the field for Falafel. Does have 33 villagers to 6. No castles have been completed yet for UnknownPlayer, so I love the castle addition for Falafel, right? It forces your opponent to actually get siege on the field, so the elephants I guess they're both on the same side, though. The elephants could still come in here and do a lot of damage. Now what? Who's winning? 27-2 Eco KD. It's 4-1 villagers on the field right now, but now what? Kipchaks come in, they're free. But, well, they're treated as if they are free as well, and they all die. 45 battle elephants on the field. I think UnknownPlayer is gonna win this. I don't know how, but I think he's actually gonna win. The eco is still much better, so maybe if the Kumans can just get, like, Halb SO out on the field right now. I don't know if that's ever viable. There's still no food economy, so the Halb especially is going to be difficult. Kumans don't get Heavy Scorpion or Siege Engineer, so kind of rough to go that route, I think. UnknownPlayer is housed at 80, at 90, I suppose. Production buildings going down, all those extra stables ripped down. And, well, we're trying to go into what? Why are we making archer? Is this Cav Archer? That feels really bad. That feels really bad. The starting TC is going to go down to elephants. UnknownPlayer has the entire left side of the map under his control, and Falafel has to call it. Oh, that was one of the craziest Sunburn games I've seen this season. There have been some long Sunburn games, but the total deadness of UnknownPlayer into just refusing to die, the mental fortitude to continue making the units that you know are better, right? That's crazy. I thought for sure UnknownPlayer was going to tap out. That was a quick game. Let me. I want to go back to exactly where I thought he was going to tap out real fast. I'm not a professional, so I can't rewind, but the opening rush was good, right? Like, it doesn't find the fastest damage in the world. Ideally, you're sniping villagers with these first few step lancers, but it still finds 4 villager kills super fast. There's, like, not much production on the field right now. I think right about here, Falafel probably should have started switching into something else, right? You've already done pretty good damage. Instead of all these extra stables coming up, if these are, like, siege workshops and or barracks, I think that would be good. But I still think it gets worse for UnknownPlayer, right? It's right about here that it gets really bad. when the 70 step lancers roll in, right? They kill everything on the left-hand side. They kill more villagers on the right-hand side. I mean, it seems like you're dead. You've got 75 step lancers in your base. You've got 5 villagers, 14 elephants. That's crazy. I thought for sure UnknownPlayer was dead here. I probably would have tapped out here if I was UnknownPlayer, I'm going to be honest. But he sticks with it. He keeps making the better units. Falafel doesn't actually kill. Kind of just takes a lot of bad fights with the step lancers. And eventually runs out of step lancers, right? He's like plinking away on the production buildings over here, which isn't a ton of value. And then that's it. Elephants OP. Once again, elephants are the winner. Hello, UnknownPlayer. Welcome in. You thought you are Burmese, you can't die? Well, you were right. Turns out you were right. Turns out, yeah. The classic gather point rush until he was out of resources. It's usually enough in most divisions, to be honest, right? If you just have 100 Step Lancers in your base, like, it's tough to come back from that. Be easy, welcome in as well. Pop limit is 200, not 25. It's fine. It's fine. The military counts are crazy. I mean, 108 to 30 or 80 to 20 usually is a pretty bad sign. 81 to 12 was a military count in here briefly, but the absolute collapse of the Step Lancers will be talked about for ages to come. 290 did a cast of a feudal-only 25 pop limit game. Nice, yeah. I've seen some of those. There are players who, like, only play that setting. I don't fully understand it. Burmese beat the Kumans, first overall pick for Falafel, and suddenly we were talking about how good Falafel must feel after game 1, but he is staring down the barrel of a loss here. Sunburn is a loss. Time to do a 25 pop feudal DM, 8-person free-for-all game. 25 pop feudal DM. I'd be down for seeing it one time, one singular time. I would be down for seeing those settings. I can't make any promises after that. All right. What is game 4 going to be? It's going to be Aftermath. I mean, this is the big one for Falafel, right? If Falafel wins here, I think he's got a huge Civ advantage in game 5. I think the Spanish and the Aztecs are both really bad against the Civs Falafel has available to him. So this is a very important one. The question is, it's probably going to be Vietnamese for UnknownPlayer. What do you think your best shot against the Vietnamese is? The Japanese? Probably. It's tough, right? Teutons and Slavs. No, it's not. It can't be Japanese, right? You need something to deal with the elephant rush. And then hope you can survive in the later game. So probably Teutons makes sense here for Falafel. I think that has to be my guess. Vietnamese versus Teutons. The Breslin strat on Akare was great. You just picked the same Civ as she did. Yeah, elephants, man. Elephants are crazy, especially on Akare. The double elephant. Underrated composition, the double elephant comp. Not too many Civs can pull it off. Alright, let's find out. This could be the deciding game. Okay, I'm settling in. My predictions are becoming better. Welcome in. Ooh, a bit of a late start here for UnknownPlayer. We're already 10 seconds in before the building begins. Welcome in. Game 4, potentially decider match here in our battle for Division 10. We've got UnknownPlayer playing as the Vietnamese up against PsychedelicFalafel's Teutons. All right, This is the Civ matchup I think makes the most sense. The Vietnamese are by far the best Civ available for UnknownPlayer, and I think the Teutons make the most sense against them. But let's see. We've got the stables coming down, so the Vietnamese usually open up with an elephant rush, and then they have the ability to transition into a more regular composition with Rattans, with Halb, Siege, that kind of stuff. Question of when you transition sometimes matters. Sometimes you don't need to transition, you just go full elephant and win. But Falafel's doing what I wanted to see every other game we've seen elephant so far, and is making the siege workshops early. Siege onagers in the queue. Halb's on the field. I think this is the correct composition. We'll see if it works. UnknownPlayer. Elephants. First run of elephants is going to move out here. Only 3 stables. So maybe is not committing fully to the elephant play. Has one of these trade workshops on the sides as well. Nice Vil snipe here for UnknownPlayer. Gets first blood. It's full S. Holy, is it full S? SO help. 60 SO are in the queue. Falafel is not playing around this time. Has lost too many games to elephants this series so far. He's not playing around. The question is, can PsychedelicFalafel micro 60 siege onagers against these elephants? Oh boy. Okay. Elephants win again here. It's a slow elephant rush. Also, just aftermath things. Does not have control over the trade workshop despite being almost literally directly next to it. And yeah, it is not a full elephant play here for UnknownPlayer. Already getting some Rattans out. Champions in the queue. Champions against the Teutons, not ideal, but if it's only going to be Halb SO, it's pretty good. Honestly, like... Well, no, I guess you can't go Vietnamese, like Cavalier or anything. That seems crazy. We probably do need bombard cannons, though. Very difficult to micro, but they are the counter to siege onagers, such as it is. Map control is totally in the Vietnamese's favor so far. Halb v Halb is obviously better for the Teutons. This is worrying me. I might not be able to take my eyes off of the SO ball. I feel like this game is going to be decided based on how the first fight with these things goes, right? They're either going to nuke out all of Falafel's own units and then die for free, or they're going to obliterate UnknownPlayer's army and win the game. I think there's no other way this can go. Both players are housed. UnknownPlayer is housed at 100 pop, though, instead of 190. I feel like this has been one thing that I would suggest UnknownPlayer try to focus on in the future is just making more houses. It feels bad sometimes. All right, let's see. I'll finish my thought in a second. Elephants. Not getting hit by the SO, but they are getting hit. Oh, now they are. They're getting hit by the Halb as well. They get in on the SO, but have taken so many losses. It was good enough micro. For sure. All the elephants die. Castle is denied at the front of the base for UnknownPlayer. Rattans do great against the Halb, but they're not going to do great against the SO. Don't even need the SO, actually. They aren't going to do enough against the Halb because there are so many Halberdier on the field. There are 100 Halberdier on the field. Okay. Bombard cannons getting some good shots in. The SO are stacking up on top of each other. But there's plenty more where that came from. There's still 30 more SO in the queue. Falafel's out of wood, which is really bad for the Teutons. It was a rough engagement here. I don't know if Falafel took his eyes off of the fight at the front. But a lot of SO have gone down. Like I said, there's more where that came from, but there's not a huge meat shield in front of them now. Buys enough wood to afford another 50 halbs. Round 2 with the SO. We need to just dive in on these bombard cannons. There we go. That's necessary. Keep the halbs in front. Dive with the SO. The SO can deal with the Rattans. They can deal with the... They can kind of deal with the bombard cannons, theoretically. Okay, we're undecided. War is a heck of a thing. Sometimes you don't know where you want to be. Big shots into the Rattan archers. Bombard cannon's going down. Monk, I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it. He does not. Okay, so we're still okay here for Falafel. It's mostly champion now, which is crazy to use against the Teutons. But again, they're good against everything on the field right now. I guess we've got some Teuton champions coming out now for Falafel, but SO are forced to back up a bit. Against the Halb, the champions are going to do great. Rez is still looking really good for UnknownPlayer. It's not looking great for Falafel, but the Eco is looking okay. Champions also get the armor, right? Yeah. So the Teuton champions are much better. They are much better than the Vietnamese champions. It's just so tough to know what your unit composition needs to be here for the Vietnamese. It probably needs to be Rattan. I mean, Rattan Elephant is probably not bad with bombard cannons to snipe the SO, but that feels so difficult to pull off. Good attacks with the SO. Falafel's done a good job with these siege, honestly. It was one bad fight, but has gotten the shots in when they mattered. Do have to be... Yeah, the friendly fire starts to become an issue once the champions get in. It's been good micro with the bombard cannons behind for UnknownPlayer. These players hate trebuchets, by the way. I think we've seen 2 trebuchets this entire series so far out of both players. They really just like to ram and siege onager push, which I can't blame them. Army's coming in here. There are castles in the eco, though. See, we don't really want to throw away our siege onagers underneath the castles, I don't think. But the bait... Well, maybe we do? How many SO do you need to take out a Vietnamese castle? They're lacking some HP. You don't get architecture. Rams coming in. They are just capped ram for the Teutons. But I suppose against the Vietnamese castles it's okay. Ooh, I actually don't know. Nice shots. It's been really good shots. Castle will go down, I think. 26. It goes down. But where's the army? Behind this, there is none. 100 villagers for PsychedelicFalafel, but where are they? They are not the most efficient I've ever seen in my life. So I think now is a good time. You've done good damage forward if you're Falafel, right? I think now is the time you need to look back at your eco, slap down like 30 more farms, expand out to more resources on the sides, get some map control, start thinking about a longer game state. UnknownPlayer still housed. Shy of 150 total population, but castles are coming down, so that should not be a problem for too much longer. Lost a lot of stuff at the front of the base, right? Castles went down, TCs went down. Farms are grossly inefficient now that the TCs have gone down. Nice raids, though. We gotta expand out here with castles, man. Teuton castles are so good here because you can't even take them out with bombard cannons, right? You're forcing UnknownPlayer to make trebuchets to take out a castle. It would be so nice to have a castle up on these hills. Up on these hills. All this stone in the bank feels really tough. Up is good in controlling overpopulation. True. if you go up to 200 population, it's always tough to switch into the next unit you need to make, right? Because then you're at your population cap. You can't add any more units in. It can be awkward. If you hover at like 150 to 170, you're always ready for anything. Falafel brings out another slew of villagers to try and get on this gold. Oh, and he's making the castles in the back. Had all that stone and is making 3 castles in the back of the base to protect what, though? This stone, I suppose. We need to protect this, though. We need to protect this. Hero Halb? Massive value. And he's going to start raiding the gold. He's going to get taken out. Sad. Still a hero. Still a legend. Falafel is expanding out to the topside gold. So all the golds have been covered now. Unknown player is deleting villagers. Imagine a Teuton castle up here. Even if it was at the front. Even if it was not on the hill. You know, it'd be great. It would be absolutely tremendous. How are we doing relic-wise? I haven't thought about the relics in a hot minute. Unknown player should be able to get 3. This one is not really protected by Falafel, even though it's on his end of the base. Here come the champions. Just a lot of Teuton champions could do good work here. They force the siege back. Let's see. Bombard cannons are out as well. It's been good micro with the SO so far. Let's see if that continues. It's good so far. Really good shots into the Halb. A little bit of friendly fire now. Everything dies except for the siege. I guess that's okay. Bombard cannon micro has been superior for Unknown player so far, though. He is sniping out the bombard cannons from Falafel. Takes all of them out. These SO shots have been really good, though. Just move forward and snipe the bombard cannons right now. Cannot allow these bombard cannons to plink away at our SO numbers because it's tough to replace them at this point. There's not a ton of gold left, right? Very even game, to be honest. Both players have 1 trade workshop. Relics are fairly even. Like, map control is quite even. One of the closer Aftermath games I've seen for this stage of the game. The DM elo here is higher than in Division 8 playoffs. I guess that's the oddity of everyone playing ranked, right? But still only playing against their own divisions. Falafel, I mean, the eco's pretty good on both sides, to be honest. I kind of prefer the Vietnamese unit composition at this stage of the game, though, I think. Champions get pretty hard to afford. Are Vietnamese light cavs better than Teuton scouts? Is a question I don't have to ask very often, but I'm going to ask right now. Probably, right? They only missed the last attack. So they're probably still better, maybe? Teuton scouts are better than some light cav, though. Good raids here. We've got castles against castles. Oh, I don't know about these castles from Falafel. I actually missed this coming up. This one is whatever. This one is maybe a little bit too much. Trying to make it underneath all the castles. Has to delete. These are good castles back here, though. I would like something on this side still. Treb's going maybe too far forward, but here come the light cav. Where's Bloodless when you need him? Light cav OP. They're going to run through. They might miss the last attack, and Teutons might have the extra armor, but they're still going to take out... Is it just 1, actually? Well, it's tough. It's tough out here being a Vietnamese light cav. Trebs go down. Castle stays standing for Falafel. who still has middle control, kind of. Nice shot. But it's only onager, right, for the Vietnamese? Vietnamese castle... Is this a hill? I think it is on a hill. Compared to these. Repairs coming in, that's really nice to see. You don't see repairs down in these divisions too often, so I like that. And I think the pure numbers of UnknownPlayer are doing really good work here. Teutonic Knights will do very well, though. I'd like to see the players get these relics. Oh, we're going for the forward relic here, UnknownPlayer is. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that guy. I think he should be able to get that relic, though. It's quite important. Falafel is selling stone. Stone very valuable at this stage of the game, but so is gold, I suppose. I think he's going to get it. And sharing the wood lines briefly on the right-hand side. That's going to come to an end now as the halbs show up. I think the Paladin are maybe not what I would choose to spend my gold on right now. If I were Falafel, just because there are so many halbs on the field. Sometimes with Teuton Paladin, you can just kind of strong arm through halb. But I don't think this is one of those situations. I unironically think Teuton Scouts would maybe be a play here if we need something that's fast. Monk being chased down by the Paladin. They're slow Paladin, but he is an old man. And Falafel wants that relic, man. Was not thinking about relics very much until this moment, but he wanted that relic. Very sad. Forces UnknownPlayer to make another monk, I suppose. But he should be able to get this relic now, regardless. And we do indeed have some Teutonic Scouts, which apparently is the signal for Falafel to call the GG. And UnknownPlayer is going to take the series 3-1. And he will remain in Division 10 next season. Falafel played great this season in Division 11. He's going to have to run it back next season. Why did he resign here? I think he just didn't really know what to make. He was kind of denied off of wood lines in the near future, was out of gold, right? He was going to be down 4-1 relics. I think you could fight on a bit here, but I do think UnknownPlayer was trending towards a victory. And yeah, once it feels bad to start making scouts. It feels real bad to start making scouts in DM, but fighting for his life though, like last chance. Yeah, I think last game of the season, right? Lose and it's you're down to the next division, or well, you stay in your current division. You can argue it's a little bit early, I think. But I do think UnknownPlayer was almost certainly going to win this game. He was taking the gold in the middle too, right? Plus the relics. Still had gold here that he hadn't taken, so well played, UnknownPlayer, who will return to Division 10 for next season. You will have to... So Division 10 is going to be UnknownPlayer, Breslin, Be Easy? No, not Be Easy. Be Easy moved up from 10. Who won Division 11? Was it Stray King? No, he was Division 10. Stardust. Yeah, sorry. I said that earlier. Division 10 is going to be interesting. Stardust, UnknownPlayer, Breslin, and maybe some other people. We'll see. I guess it depends on who actually plays, who shows up new, all that kind of stuff. But should be fun. All right. GG's to both players, though. Falafel really was close to winning this set. I do want to say that, right? Falafel was very close to winning on Sunburn. I think there was definitely moments in this game on Aftermath that Falafel was quite close to turning the tide. I think Falafel would have been favored in the last game, Civ-wise. So, really good job by Falafel. I expect good things out of him next season. I would not be surprised if he goes straight up to Division 10 next season, winning Division 11, but we'll see. We'll see who's there. Not scared of Zardes? Breslin's Chief Injustice? True.